Thank you, ladies, and welcome to the debut of the HS Game Time Scouting Report. We'll take a look at next Friday's matchups, plus recap all the Friday night highlights from the night before. And what a start to the season with a wild Week 0 that saw defending CIF champion the Rancho Verde fall in their season opener to Elsinore. It doesn't get any easier for the Mighty Mustangs as they take on Heritage in Week 1. The Patriots are coming off a convincing win against San Jacinto. But we start with the Mighty Mustangs. The last time we saw them, they were beating Palm Springs for the CIF title. There's Damone Backus, number 15, the star linebacker transfer from West Valley and Hemet. First play from scrimmage, and the Rancho Verde Department of Defense comes up with the interception. Then it's the first offensive play from scrimmage for the Mustangs, and sophomore quarterback Sherion Jones calls his own number on the keeper. Get in there. 7-zip Rancho Verde. Then later in the first quarter, another sophomore in the backfield, Keyshawn Slaughter, the touchdown run. That makes it 14-zip. Elsinore trying to battle back. Tommy Wilson, the quarterback. Where's number 22? You gotta love that. To Ryan Laverdiere, the big gain up the middle, and that would set up this. Sean Pico, the touchdown run right up the gut. That makes it 14-7. Then later in the first quarter, Sherion Jones breaks loose on this touchdown run. Remember, he's just a sophomore, folks. 21-7 Mustangs. To the second quarter. And this kid can throw too. Jones to the University of Washington commit DeMaurier Stringfellow on the touchdown. 28-7, the Rancho Verde on top. And they were loving it on the sidelines with that big lead, but that would quickly change. Later in the second quarter, Elsinore forces the fumble, and guess who it is? Laverdiere, the touchdown after the turnover, and Elsinore clawing back into this game. The Tigers do it again, putting pressure on Jones, the pass, and here comes Terry Adams. The dive and the interception, another turnover, costly for the Mustangs. Pico moving the chains, the big run here. That would set up an Elsinore field goal as Elsinore goes on to defeat the Rancho Verde with a big second half, 46-42. Sports writer David Lassen was at the game and breaks down the second half and that furious fourth quarter comeback.
Well, in part, Rancho just ran out of steam. They had a lot of guys who, it looked like fitness issues. Guys cramping up, things like that. You didn't see that with Elsinore. I think that they were in a little better shape for that fourth quarter, and they really, and where that really paid off was that they started getting 7 and 8 yards per carry on with that wing T offense, whereas maybe before they were getting 3 or 4 yards. It was one thing that
wore them down. Yeah,
that Coach Tony Peralta mentioned afterwards. He felt like they started ripping off some running yards that they couldn't get in the first half when Rancho Verde was fresh.
Now let's go to the fourth quarter. Talk about the game-changing play, the one that actually gave Elsinore, capped off that huge comeback and gave them that lead late in the game.
Rancho Verde had possession, driven to about midfield, a little past midfield, faced like a 4th and 3, and on the sideline we're talking about, okay, do you go for it here or do you punt it? And our feeling was, well, you punt it because with Elsinore's offense, you want to make them drive as far as possible. It takes them time. There was not going to be a whole lot of time remaining. But as it happened, they lined up kind of in a shotgun, had the quarterback attempt the punt, and it was blocked by lineman Tristan Corwin, picked up by Noah Picolba, who went 49 yards down the Rancho Verde sideline for the winning touchdown, and just pandemonium. I mean, obviously, you heard a lot of the Elsinore guys yelling about, no one gave us a chance, and,
I think maybe in the newspaper we all picked, I think, Rancho Verde against Elsinore.
I mean, how could you not pick a team that had gotten 14-0 and was a section champion, which is no slight to Elsinore, but you just look at what they had done.
On paper,
But, I mean, it ended up, I was just, the fight in those guys, Elsinore, was really impressive to me. I mean, they really did, there were 2 or 3 times when it looked like they were maybe on the verge of getting blown out and came up with big defensive plays. In fact, there was one, you might not think in a game with 88 points that there was a big defensive performance, but Ryan Laverdiere, I hope I'm saying that right, had a fumble recovery for a touchdown and an interception that led to another touchdown for Elsinore. I mean, those were both times. Those were really crucial momentum changers.
All right, thanks, David. Now let's move on to Heritage hosting San Jacinto. Coach Broach wanting to get back to the CIF title game just like last year. The Patriots coming up just short last year, but they're hungry for more. Second quarter, slow start to the game, but they pick it up here when Jamal Morrow trots into the end zone for the Heritage touchdown, 7-zip. San Jacinto not ready to lay down, and just as quarterback Pedro Murrieta finds Tanner Bootsma, he gets into the end zone. That makes it a 7-6 game. If it's Heritage, there probably is a Hefo on the team. This time it's Lima High. Hefo with the touchdown, and Heritage extends its lead to 14-6. The Heritage defense would also look sharp. They forced the San Jacinto fumble, and the Patriots, they would capitalize. That sets up this beauty for the Patriots. Going to the air, Matt Bradshaw to Darius Allensworth, Megatron. The score at halftime was 20-6, and the future Cal Bear Allensworth not done yet. He opens the second half in style with a kickoff return for the touchdown. That makes it 27-6, and Heritage goes on to the big win against San Jacinto in their Week 0 game, 32-6, your final score. Beaumont will crack open its new stadium in Week 1 when the Cougars host Citrus Valley of Redlands. Beaumont has been playing their home games at San Gorgonio Middle School since 1963. The Cougars open the season on the road at Valley View. The Eagles, always tough to beat on their home field, but Beaumont got the job done in Week 0. The Cougars head into their home opener against Citrus Valley with a big road win, 30-23, your final score. As for the Eagles, they've got another tough one in Week 1. Valley View will collide with Chaparral. On Friday, the Pumas pounced on a big win in their opener. They were taking on Cajon. How about them Cowboys? They came out pumped up, ready to go in this one, but it was Pumas from the start. Justin Harris, the crazy spin move, and he'll go in for the score at the beginning of a big night for Justin Harris. Later, Harris, another touchdown run. He loves the spin move, and he's pretty good at it too. Then Harris breaking off this long touchdown run coming up. 191 yards. Go ahead and count them for Justin Harris to go with 4 touchdowns against Cajon. And the Pumas also going to the air. Quarterback Kellen Matafa to William Stratton for the touchdown as Chaparral wins at Cajon 42-20. Riverside bragging rights are on the line when Ramona takes on Poly in Week 1. Both schools are coming off tough losses in their opener, so who will bounce back, the Rams or the Bears? Poly had to take on Citrus Hill in Week 0. The Hawks getting started early. Quarterback Trevor Hodge. The deuce is loose on the keeper. Hodge goes in for the score to make it 6-0 Citrus Hill. And then later, Poly with the ball, looking to move the ball downfield, go to the air, but KJ Young, check it out, tips the ball, one-handed grab for the interception, and KJ Young with a nice return on the end of that INT. That would set up this. P.J. Walker, he wears number 4. 4 in for the score. That makes it 12-zip, Citrus Hill. P.J. Walker had himself a breakout game. This highlight brought to you by the letters P and J and the number 4. 48 yards for the score, 19-zip Citrus Hill. Walker doing it big time against the Bears. 38 yards on this carry. He won't stop until he finds the paint. 26-zip. Huge day for Walker, rough day for Poly. 64 yards on this Walker touchdown as Citrus Hill goes on to punk Poly in this one, 40-15. Ramona on the road at Rubidoux in Week 0 early on after a blocked field goal attempt. That's the Falcons. Jesse Jones taking this one back 72 yards for the Rubidoux touchdown. And then later the Falcons going to the ground game. Daniel Young, the touchdown run for Rubidoux. And Young would go long on this one. 67 yards on this carry all the way to the house as Rubidoux takes care of Ramona in Week 0, 42-14. Next up for the Falcons is Jurupa Valley in Week 1. The Jaguars taking on Canyon Springs, who went winless in 2011. But the Cougars team this year came out ready for a big win in 2012. Nick Como, the run right to your living room, sets up a Cougars touchdown. And how about the Canyon Springs defense? The big stop for the loss. The Jaguars going to the air now. It's Martin Orozco hauls in this catch, and that would lead to this, a Jurupa Valley touchdown. But back come the Cougars. Como was a man on a mission. Another great touchdown run. Canyon Springs goes on to win this one by a final score of 27-21. Canyon Springs will get La Sierra on Friday in Week 1. After taking Week 0 off, the Norco Cougars will kick off the season on Friday against Crenshaw. Norco should have a battle on their hands after watching Crenshaw defeat fellow Big 8 member Santiago in Week 0. Jeff Steinberg and the Sharks would get the party started early and jump on visiting Crenshaw right out of the gate. The Sharks enjoying their favorite pastry, the turnover, and there's Gio Villarreal to recover for Santiago. The Sharks capitalize. It's Michael Darr hooking up with Seth Riggs on the touchdown strike, and Santiago gets on the board first. Crenshaw would answer, and they've got a couple really good skill position guys. Check out this play. Dancing down the sideline, and he will go in for the Crenshaw touchdown. Now it's Santiago with the ball. Whoops! The snap sails high, and Crenshaw falls on it for another 6 points. Santiago's defense coming up with a big play here. Tyler curbs the INT. So the Sharks are back in business, and business is good. Darr to Adam Brooks for the big gain, and they're moving the chains. Then it's Darr to Joey Camarillo. It's Joey touchdown. But Santiago is trailing 35-17 to the third quarter. The Sharks still moving the ball on offense. Darr had a great game, connects with his big target, Darion Barnett for 6. The Sharks would keep it close. But Crenshaw hangs on for the 43-31 win. Now it's on to Murrieta Valley, taking on Temescal Canyon. This was a close game until the Nighthawks finally broke it open in the fourth quarter. Murrieta Valley holds off Temescal Canyon by a final score of 35-15. Next up, Lakewood for Murrieta Valley. Temescal Canyon will meet another school from the Southwestern League, Temecula Valley, in Week 1. It's the Clash of the Titans on Friday as Notre Dame visits Grand Terrace in week number 1. Grand Terrace making its varsity football debut, while Notre Dame is coming off a blowout win at Workman in week 0. The Pete McGowan era is off and running for the Titans. It looks like number 42 to me, Dakota Mai on the kick return touchdown to get Notre Dame on the board against Workman. Later, the quarterback, Paul Bradvica, the touchdown pass. So special teams, offense getting it done for Notre Dame. How about the defense? Well, Anthony McMaster is about to step his game up. The interception return and the touchdown, the pick 6, and it looks like Anthony McMaster for that touchdown. Later, Bradvica hooking up with Chris Chesney on the touchdown strike. Notre Dame doing it on the road. Bradvica, his homies call him Polyguaps, on the keeper as Notre Dame goes on to the victory. Final score of 47-7. No letdown for defending CIF champion Summit. The reigning Eastern Division champs opened the 2012 campaign with a solid 38-6 win against Etiwanda. The Skyhawks will now focus their attention on Redlands for a Thursday night game. The Terriers, though, losing their opener at Rancho Cucamonga. But back to Etiwanda. They'll have their hands full again with Miller, who knocked off Lakeside on Thursday.
Let's come out swinging. The Rebels went on the road and won this game in a blowout last season, but the Lancers are looking to repay the favor. Second quarter, no score. Lakeside's Dakota Wilson hits Sean Cabrera on the touchdown strike. 6-zip Lancers at the break. Go ahead and laugh it up. It's all fun and games until the duo of Wilson and Cabrera do it again in the third quarter. 14-zip Lakeside on top with Cabrera's second of 3 scores in the game. Lakeside up, but you can never count out Miller. The Rebels go to the air. Quarterback Michael Watkins to Devon Brown, and he'll take care of the rest as Miller gets on the board, making it a 14-7 game. Later in the third quarter, Watkins makes his way to the paint. Get in there! The Rebels closing the gap on Lakeside. I guess they're a second-half team because Watkins calls his own number right there. And he's in for the score in the fourth quarter. Miller erupts for 39 second-half points. Trayvon Jones, the pick six late in the game as the Rebels open the season with a 39-20 victory.
Oh, we can't make as many mistakes as we made tonight. That can't happen. It's a baseline league team, and they're going to be big, they're going to be tough, and we gotta eliminate the mistakes to give ourselves the best opportunity. And knowing this group, they'll be ready. We'll be ready for Etienne.
We saw some great performances in Week 0, but there can be only one HS Game Time Player of the Week here on the Scouting Reports.
Time now for the Player of the Week.
We're giving the game ball to Citrus Hill running back P.J. Walker. Maybe we should call Citrus Hill tailback high because the Hawks keep cranking out some great running backs. Looks like they've got another one with Walker. 5 touchdowns in all versus Poly as Citrus Hill rolled to the victory in Week 0. Each Tuesday, HS Game Time will post a new video featuring the top plays of the week. But if you can't wait until Tuesday, here's a sneak peek.
Plays of the Week.
And here's the current HS Game Time rankings. Maybe some shuffling in the top 10 for this upcoming week. Vista, Murrieta, Centennial, and Rev did not play in Week 0. Rancho, Verde, and Redlands both coming off losses, so look for the updated rankings this week at HS Game Time. And we also have a fan poll. Which team will repeat as CIF champion in 2012? Can Rancho Verde right the ship after the loss to Elsinore, or will it be Summit or Vista Murrieta? Cast your vote on the HS Game Time poll right here on the website. Voting ends on Wednesday. We'll have the results on HS Game Time live on Friday beginning at 10:30. And we'll also give you a new fan poll question so you can let your voice be heard and cast your vote. Thank you for joining us on the Scouting Report. We'll be back each and every Saturday. And of course, don't miss HS Game Time Live every Friday from 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time.